Hey everyone, it's Kelly here with She Learns Video, and today we are going to be hopping over to the new iPad Air, and there I will show you how you can easily edit your photos in Lightroom. So if you're a photographer like me, you are using Lightroom on a daily basis, and I'm sure you spend many hours sitting at your computer editing. And in picking up the new iPad Air, one thing I'm really excited about is the ability to edit on the go, to show photos to my clients and my family and friends. And I hope that this tool is useful for me, and if you decide to pick up an iPad Air, you can use this video to guide you along. In this video, we'll be covering how to get your photos from your computer or your hard drives over to your iPad, and then how to open up Lightroom and start utilizing that tool on the iPad. If you have an Apple Pencil, that will also be useful, as I will be using it during this tutorial. Personally, I haven't had an iPad in a really long time, so I'm so excited to use this tool. I think the last iPad I had might have been the first generation, but now that I have the new iPad Air, I'm excited to see what it can do. And I loved the fact that it has a lot of the features of the iPad Pro, but at a lower price point. So if you pick up an iPad Air in the future and you're looking to edit in Lightroom, then this tutorial will be a perfect step for you to walk through the process before you get started. All right, so here we are on the iPad Air. We'll just open this up and we will go over into Lightroom. And from here, I'm going to show you how you can access images that are on an external hard drive. So right here, you'll see I have a cable plugged in that connects to my hard drive. So it's just directly wired in. This is the USB-C, so I have an adapter that goes to USB, and then my hard drive is right back here. So everything's connected and it's the perfect fit. This adapter works both on my iPad and then also over on my computer. So it's a great fit and really works well with my workflow. So here, if you want to access any of your images, you're going to go up here to these three little dots, click that, and then you're going to go to Add Photos. And here you will go to Files. And when you open this up, you're going to want to click Browse up here in the top left. And then you'll see here a bunch of different options. If you have anything that's stored on Google Drive, you can access that. Your iCloud Drive. I'm sure there's a variety of different like Dropbox options you can add in here. And we are going to access my blue 2 terabyte hard drive. It's an external hard drive that I'm using, and that's how I have it titled. So when we click on here, you'll see a variety of different folders that I have. I'm just going to go into 2022, and let's click on this one here. And you can see a bunch of different images are going to pop up. So let's just click on one here of this little boy, and you'll see that it's successfully added. If you want to add multiple images, you can click Select up here in the top right, and this will allow you to select the ones that you want to include, or you can click Select All and then hit Open. So now that we're able to access our photos and get them over into Lightroom, that was a quick tutorial on how you can take them from your hard drive over into Lightroom utilizing the iPad Air. Okay, so here you see all the images that I selected. They have been added into this Lightroom catalog that I have. You can also break this down into an additional separate catalog, lots of different folders. All the same tools that you utilize within Lightroom are going to be accessible here. And if you're utilizing the cloud version of Lightroom, then everything you have over on your computer will sync over here onto your laptop. So this is just a quick and easy way that you can import things from your hard drive, or if you're using an SD card, you can access that with a similar fashion. And once they're over here on your iPad, you can edit them using the same tools that you would be utilizing if you're working with Lightroom over on your computer. Perfect. So now that all my images are over here, we will go into the process of editing one so you can see what that process looks like and how we can make this quick and simple for anyone who is on the go and wanting to edit their images. Okay, so once you're on an image here, you can see you have a variety of different options as far as editing and adjusting the image. Many of these are going to be very similar to what you have in Lightroom on your computer. You can go under things like light and you're going to find exposure, contrast, highlights, shadows, whites, and blacks. This is where I do the majority of my adjustments. I like to, maybe pop my exposure up, a little bit of contrast, bring my highlights up, my shadows down, whites up, blacks down, things like that. So this is a tool that you're going to be able to use in the same way that you're utilizing it on your computer. If you go over into color, it's going to look similar as well. You're going to have the ability to adjust your white balance here, tint, and then vibrance and saturation. I tend to bring saturation down just a little bit. Vibrance I like to play around with depending upon the need of my image and who this image is for. And then if you go into color grading, there's lots of different options here that you can explore with shadows, luminance, blending, hue, saturation. There are endless possibilities. And I just want you to know that you can explore these over here, whether you're using your iPad or you're on your computer. Effects, things like texture, clarity, dehaze. Dehaze is one that I tend to use on a pretty common basis, especially images that are taken in natural light. Oftentimes backlit images, I will utilize the dehaze tool, but you just want to make sure you're balancing that out with things like saturation and vibrancy as far as your exposure, contrast, highlights, things like that. These last three options are things that you may utilize dependent upon the image. So detail, you can sharpen the image. You can create a variety of different looks and feels with these noise reductions and details, smoothness. And then if you go down to optics, you have a few options here. And then geometry, these are things like distorting your image in different ways in order to make maybe your lines look perfect and everything look exactly how you perceive the image to be. So geometry is something you can certainly play around with if you are getting creative with the image and starting to explore the different looks and feels. I think geometry can be a really, really great tool when you are looking to get creative in your crops, rule of thirds. Additionally, over here on the side, you'll see some tools. This one here will allow you to explore different presets. You can import your own presets here. You can see a variety of different options recommended. The image and the program in and of itself will give you options as far as recommended presets. Premium, these are just a variety of different options that Adobe comes preloaded with. And then again, back to yours. Things that you have uploaded and added in, these are going to be displayed here if you are utilizing the Lightroom program across different platforms. Cropping, this option here gives you the ability to select the aspect ratio that you would like to see. And you can also do some freeform cropping if you just select the tool here in the bottom right-hand corner or any of these little guides on the side. The healing brush, this is a really nice tool if you need to touch up skin. Let's say, for example, this was a blemish of some type here. You could adjust the size and you'll see it moves right along with what you need. So we will replace that with what was a little freckle and cover that right up. So depending upon what you need, this will give you the ability to heal and spot correct your image. And then over here to masking. Masking has come along so far in the Lightroom world. If you go to the masking tool, click on it, and then click on your image, you can add a mask. I tend to select the subject. And from here, I like to adjust as needed. So you can see if I make my subject just way too bright or just a little bit brighter, give it that pop contrast. If I'd like to bring that up or down, maybe just a bit. Highlights, we'll bring those down, shadows up, and pop those blacks down just a little bit. So here, if we'd like to isolate our subject from the background. It gives you a lot of different tools and capabilities that you might not have with other editing tools. The thing I like about this is that the editing capabilities on your iPad are going to be so similar to everything that you have access to when you're editing on your computer. Okay, so last but not least, if you love the image that you've created and you want to export it, go up here to this button here. You can click Share To, and it will give you a variety of different options. You can save the image, you can share it to a variety of different albums, files, and you can send it to people that are in your contacts. So overall, I hope that information was helpful. I hope this encourages you to utilize your iPad in a variety of different ways when it comes to using Lightroom. If you have any questions, definitely let us know in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching. Please continue to enjoy our iPad content. We have a variety of different tutorials that are already out and coming soon. Thanks so much for watching.